Hey guys, and welcome back to another one, and I hope you are all okay on that side of the screen. Now today, as you can see, we've got here the ACER XB270HU display, and in my opinion this is an awesome display. Now I would dare to say that this is the best display that I've tried so far. That being said, hope that you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you in a few seconds. So here we are with the ACER Display XB270HU that features a 27-inch IPS display, a 16:9 aspect ratio with a maximum resolution of 2560 by 1440, 144 Hz refresh rate, and a 4 milliseconds response time. And once we take everything out of the package, we will find within the accessories a user guide, a power cable, USB-A to USB-B cable, DisplayPort cable, and we will also find the stand base along with the monitor arm and finally the display itself. Now to set it up, the display has a lock mechanism that once we attach the arm, it will securely lock, and if we needed to release it by some reason, all we have to do is press that unlock button and release the display. And that is it, we are now ready to start using it. But before we do, in terms of adjustments, we can adjust the height in a distance of 15 centimeters or 5.91 inches as you prefer. And in here I would like to mention that the spring system feels really sturdy, which makes it easy to move up or down with no effort at all. But at the same time, it will stop exactly at the position that we want, which in my opinion is just great. And we can also tilt the display between an angle of -5 degrees down or up to 35 degrees up. And finally, we can also rotate it 90 degrees to use it in portrait mode, which in my opinion can be very useful, especially if we want to use it as a secondary display to work on documents like Word and so on. And I must say that the text on the screen is really sharp. In terms of ports, at the back there is a DC in and a power switch on the right side, and on the left side there is one single display port, which is a G-Sync technology limitation, along with one USB Type B port and two USB 3.0 ports. At the back on the left side we will also find another two USB 3.0 ports, and finally there's also the option to mount the display in another arm that has a VESA mount. Now in terms of colors, contrast and resolution, this display is just beautiful, making a real pleasure to watch this display. And in terms of viewing angles, there is no noticeable color shifting both horizontally or vertically, which has been giving me a great experience testing out this display. Regarding the menu, it has the basic settings like some color presets that you can then fine-tune with brightness, contrast and saturation, and in my opinion really easy and simple to use. And it has also the info feature that will let you make sure at what resolution, refresh rate and mode that the display is running. Now, one of the main reasons to get this display, besides the great colors and contrast, is of course the G-Sync technology. And if you are used to a display like my main display, which is a ASUS 27-inch TN panel with no G-Sync, then we will notice a huge difference. I did use the demo to evaluate the G-Sync features, but honestly, first, the camera recording does not capture what I see with my eyes, and second, we will not be running demos on our daily usage. Nonetheless, what G-Sync will do is to remove the tearing effect of older monitors, on the other hand also removing the latency caused by V-Sync that some monitors use. Now I'm sure that the gamers on that side of the screen know much better on the subject than I do, and for those that don't, just search for G-Sync and you will find a lot of info and in-depth examples about it. So the first test that I did was on video playback, and besides testing my own footage, I also tested some movies that, on my opinion, really looks great. The 16:9 aspect ratio is awesome for this kind of content, and I also noticed that there is a very good pixel responsiveness, which can handle very effectively fast-moving scenes in movies without any issues at all. Finally, I would also like to mention that I did not find any backlight leakage on this testing unit, which is always a good indicator. The second test was on the software that I spend most of my time, which is After Effects, and my feedback here is that this display has incredible colors and contrast, which gives me, besides a more accurate color range, also gives me more pleasure using it while working. One more thing that is obvious here is that the resolution really helps to have more display real estate, giving me the ability to see much more on screen, especially when I compare it with my 1080p displays, and at the same time giving me much more sharpness on my image. And finally, some gaming tests as well, and most of you guys know me, I'm not a gamer, but if I have the chance to waste half an hour playing, then I will take it. So the game that I tested was Shadows of Mordor, which is the only game that I have installed on my system at the moment, and I would like to mention that once again the camera does not make any judgment of the quality that I see with my own eyes. Nonetheless, my feedback here is that the experience was great, and the big difference that I noticed was when I went back to my old monitor, and now I can see a huge difference, which is not good at all for me. But hey, this is evolution, and this ACER display has really convinced me. So in conclusion, guys, things that I did like the most were the really nice color range and contrast of this display, great viewing angles with no color shifting, the sturdy monitor arm with a lot of adjustment options, a really nice resolution especially for content creators and gaming enthusiasts, and finally the G-Sync technology that, although I'm not a gamer, I can really see the difference. On the other hand, things that I did like the less, so far I haven't found anything that I didn't like on this ACER display. And that is it regarding this overview of the ACER XB270HU. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did so, don't forget that thumbs up over there. My name is Roberto Jorge, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.